Hello, I hope you guys are able to see me. Just let me know if you guys are able to see me. I think we are live now. Okay, guys, welcome to the VARC Parajumbles, the VA stream essentially, Parajumbles, OOC and Parasummary. So we'll be doing one VA stream for this. We'll also take a look at a few RC streams. Till now I've been doing only DILR, so I thought we'll change it up a bit and do one VA stream. We'll also do some RC streams. Good to see so many people over here. Those who have joined us, please like the stream, please share the stream so that more people can join. If a lot more people join, then we get more motivation to do these streams. It helps us a lot in terms of getting the team involved and excited, and we'll want to bring you more number of streams, longer streams, more examples, all of that. But that depends on the level of participation we get, the level of motivation that we get from the students. So please like the stream, please share the stream with your friends. If you're part of any Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, please share this on that so that people can join in. We'll be starting soon. This will be this will be a test which you can take at cracku.in/live. So this is in a test format. If you're joining us for the first time, basically we give the test. All the students who are live on the platform can take this in a live format. And once you take the test, you keep seeing the live scoreboard of how students are faring in this particular section. We'll be having 3 Para-Jumbles in the test, 2 OOC, and then 3 para-summary questions. So a total of 8 questions, similar to a actual mock as such. So please like the stream, please share the stream. Also, I would like to get 175 likes as such. This would help us a lot in terms of getting more students in our subsequent streams so that we can have more of these streams as such. So please like the stream, please share the stream. I see a lot of students on YouTube but not at cracku.in/live. So put in cracku.in/live, you will be taken to this current live session. If you guys are tuning in after the live session is over, still if you go to cracku.in/live, you will see the session as such. You will see a option of seeing all the live sessions. So basically in this particular session, you can take the test for Para-Jumbles, Parasummary and OOC live and see how you fare with your friends and peer groups. All the people who join us on our stream generally are the most motivated students. So this is going to be a tough leaderboard to get on the top of, but if you do actually manage to get on the top of the leaderboard, firstly kudos to you because it's a very tough this. Also, whoever comes first in this particular leaderboard, we'll be sending you one t-shirt, Cracku t-shirt for whoever tops this particular leaderboard. So please like the stream, please share the stream, and please go to cracku.in/live so that you can see more of, so that you can actually take this in the test format. And we'll be starting soon, so I hope everybody goes over to cracku.in/live. Okay, before starting, I'll just let you know that we have a very excellent batch coming up, which is the 3 months batch. If you are starting just about now and you want to make the best use of 3 months to CAT, please join our 3 months batch, which is starting very soon. It will basically help you prepare for CAT in a structured way. Every day you will get a list of tasks to do, what concept videos you have to watch, what concept tests you have to take. Everything will be given to you in a structured format. Just basically do your daily tasks and you will be set to crack CAT. Even in 3 months, you will be able to crack CAT as such. So please do take a look at our 3 months to CAT 3 months batch as such. The second thing is that our if you guys are, this is the time when you should seriously start preparing for mocks. Our mocks are updated in the 2-hour format. So if you guys are just starting off with the your preparation and you want to start taking mocks, you should start taking mocks in August. So please head over, and we have 3 free CAT mocks, completely free. Whether you're a premium student, whether you're a free student, you'll be able to take those mocks. And they are in the 2-hour format, and you have video solutions as well. So please do take that, do take the free mocks. So guys, welcome to the stream. I hope you guys like the stream, share the stream, and we'll start soon. I see a lot more students on the on YouTube rather than on chat, so, rather than on cracku.in/live. So please go over here. We'll be starting the test in exactly 5 minutes. Before we start the test, I will be giving you a brief idea of how to solve Parajumbles. Then I'll put the 3 Parajumbles questions, then a brief idea of how to solve the OOC questions, then the OOC questions, and finally some basic concept of Parasummary before giving the Parasummary questions. Please do put in your doubts over here. I'll be taking a look and answering your doubts after I post a question. In the gap that I get, I'll be trying to address your doubts. So please post it over here and I'll try to answer them as much as possible. A lot of people are asking, okay, in crash course, will you and Maruti sir be teaching us? Aryan, yes. All the concept videos are done by me. A majority of the question videos, especially quant, are done by Maruti. Together of us, we'll be doing almost entire, all the videos are almost entirely between us as such. So all concept videos are done by me. So don't worry about that. Okay, I think I'm looking a bit blurred on the camera, so I'll just try to fix that. Just 1 second. Yeah, I think I'm better, not blurred anymore. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Okay. Thank you, Hakeem. It's already 70 plus likes and we can make it 175 soon. And thank you for coming regularly. I see a lot of guys who come regularly and I feel very, very positive about their preparation when I see so many guys come in. So please guys, head over to cracku.in/live. I'll give a basic idea of the basic rules to follow while solving Parajumbles, and then we'll start with the test. So we'll start it by 9:42 or 9:45 as such. So please go in to cracku.in/live. I see 125 people on the YouTube, but only 87 on cracku.in/live. So please go over here. The test is over at cracku.in/live. If you go there, you will see a YouTube window and nothing much over there else. And you might think, okay, there is no test over here, but wait over there, keep that page up, because once I post the first question, it is going to come below that YouTube window. So please keep this page open. This is where the test is going to come. Okay. How to improve approach for hard questions in VARC, Divyansh. So basically for VARC, all that is tested in the entire section is comprehension skills. So the only way you can actually do well in VARC section is to improve on comprehension skills. Start active reading today. Not you have 3 months left, so you have to start with the active reading today. Take things which are slightly difficult to read, require some amount of logical thinking, and do active reading. That is, after each paragraph, write down the main point of the paragraph. You will see that as you keep doing this over time, you will get better not only in RC, but even in Parajumbles, OOC and Parasummary. Because once you start doing that, you become a better reader. And being a better reader, having better comprehension skills is key to cracking VARC. So let's get started. Guys, head over to cracku.in/live. So the first thing that I will actually discuss is how to basically solve the Parajumbles. There are 3 things that you should keep in mind. Firstly is the chain of thought method. How do I use the chain of thought method? So basically think of it in this way. Once you read the sentences, you get an idea of what the author is trying to say. Through the sentences, the author is trying to communicate or send a message to you. Now, once you understand, okay, what is the author trying to say, you have to then understand, if I was to say the same thing, how would I order the sentences? There is a logical way of ordering things so that it is understandable to a listener or a reader. When you say coherence, what is coherence? Coherence is basically that when you give your information in such a ordered manner, it is easily understood by the reader or the listener. Incoherent basically means it is difficult for the reader or the listener to understand. Now, once you understand that my message should be easier for the reader to listen or understand, then you're saying that how can I make it easy for somebody to understand the message in these lines? If I was sending this message, how would I order it? Then use that chain of thought. Basically, how can I take the reader or listener from point A to point B such that they completely understand that thought? So this is basically the chain of thought method. So when you start thinking that way, you will basically start to think that before I actually make my point, I should tell them the context in which I am making my point. Then I should give my arguments. Then I should conclude saying that, okay, hence it is important to do it in this way. Or I can say, I can start off by giving out what case I want to make. I want to say that we should have net neutrality. Then I say that, okay, let me list out the reasons. And then I say, yes, hence I feel that we should have net neutrality. So whenever I am trying to convince somebody, I logically, by default, you will apply a certain ordering, because you know exactly what can be understood by the listener and what cannot be understood by the listener. Try to use that same logic while unjumbling the lines. That is basically the chain of thought method. This is slightly difficult, but if you consider what has come in Parajumbles in the last 2 years or so, this is the only method that would really work in all cases. Because what they have started to do is basically they are not taking contiguous lines. They are considering a paragraph with like 8 or 9 lines, taking a line at the start of the paragraph, somewhere in the middle, then somewhere again in the middle, and then at the end of the paragraph. Since these lines are not contiguous, or essentially it's not a continuous paragraph, you're missing grammar clues. So grammar is the second biggest way in which you can unscramble a paragraph. But if these paper setters do this, it's difficult to use grammar. What they do is they remove all grammatical clues and then just make you or force you to use chain of thought method. So it's important to know the chain of thought method and use it consciously while solving. The second biggest clue is grammar. Grammar basic clues are like pronouns. Pronouns as in like whenever you see a pronoun like he, they, she, you should find out what is the antecedent of that pronoun. So basically is say it is given that Thomas Jefferson established the party, and then it is given in some other sentence he did this. So he over here refers to Thomas Jefferson, so it should come immediately after or at least some point of time after. Whenever you have an intermediary sentence where the subject changes, you can't use the pronoun without causing confusion. So basically if I say Thomas Jefferson established the party, Benjamin Franklin extended the party in some way, and then if you say he, then it becomes slightly ambiguous whether he refers to Benjamin Franklin or Thomas Jefferson. So you should be clear as to who that pronoun refers to, and then you have to place it just before or just after that particular sentence. So this way you can use grammar for solving parajumbles. The last method that you can think of is basically pairs, or rather mandatory pairs kind of thing, where basically if you consider that after reading the lines you see that okay, these two sentences are logically related. See, again in Parajumbles you have 4 lines. So you have basically 4 factorial possible solutions. But the minute you form pairs saying that okay, no, 1, 3 should be together, 2, 4 should be together, or 4, 2 should be together, you reduce the number of possibilities. So if I know that 1, 3 should be in this order, 4, 2 should be in that order, I get 2 possibilities, 1, 3, 4, 2 or 4, 2, 1, 3. Then I should just basically form these pairs and read out both of these paragraphs in this order and see which one makes more sense. So this is a practical way of essentially trying to figure out what is the right order. So these are the 3 methods you can use to actually figure out a way how to solve Parajumbles. So basically we'll be starting soon. I'll be posting the first question in under a minute. So if you guys are on Cracku or are on YouTube, please head over to cracku.in/live. The test will be posted in less than a minute. Please head over to cracku.in/live. The questions are going to start coming over there. So best of luck guys. Whatever doubts you have, please put it in the chat box. I'll be going through the doubts now. Okay. So let's start. This is your first question. Okay. Hide the, oh sorry, I'll increase the font a bit. Okay. Okay guys, very glad to see 146 people here, but only 100 likes. Please like the stream guys. The more you like the stream, the more it encourages us to have more of these sessions. So please like the stream. if you guys are joining in right now, please head over to cracku.in/live. It will be difficult for you to actually just solve it on the YouTube. I'll try to increase the this as much as possible, but please head over to cracku.in/live where you can take it in the test format. Okay. And we have our 3 months batch starting this Monday. So please go to cracku.in and see the 3 months batch. It starts this the coming Monday as such. Okay. I'll just try to answer some of the questions that have come. Okay. So let's see on the chat window. Okay. Hi Arjav and Manish, all of you guys. I'm very glad you guys have joined in. 9:30 p.m. on Saturdays, generally a tough this for even the most committed students. I'm very glad all those who have joined in. You guys are like really sincere, and you should be glad that you are so committed to CAT. I'm very happy about that. Okay. Okay. Okay, Vidushi is asking how to improve VARC scores. As I just mentioned to somebody else, keep doing active reading. So I'll just mention what is active reading. Consider a lot of reading sources. We give on cracku.in, like the batches, we post an daily RC, daily article as such. But consider Aeon or The Guardian or any of these kind of different sources which are good reading material sources, and basically find an article. And for each paragraph in that particular article, write a main point of that paragraph. So basically what you do is, okay, you have 4 paragraphs. For each of those paragraphs, you should say, this is the main point, this is the main point, this is the main point, this is the main point. And for all of the paragraphs, what is the overall main point? What does this do? This basically forces you to read in a manner that keeps your brain working while reading. It's a training that you need to do for your brain, such that your brain is active reading, that it is thinking while reading, not just passively absorbing information. Once you start doing that, comprehension skills like essentially just take off once you start doing that consciously. So keep doing that. Make sure that you read 2-3 articles that way every day. Your comprehension skills will improve. Like there will be like a day and night change in your comprehension skills, and your RC scores will improve, your VA scores will improve. Okay. So I see, let me see whether how many have, okay, this is done. Okay, and a lot of people got it wrong. But those who got it wrong, don't feel disheartened. This is actually a difficult one. So generally for streams, I try to select slightly harder questions. So don't feel disheartened. This is a difficult question, but kudos to Aryan, Ayush and Pranjal who got it right. So let us try to see how to solve these questions. Let us see the correct order. Okay, so let's see the sentences. Okay. The legend illustrates a great principle of human nature, the power of religion over the fear of death. But it goes far beyond the miraculous interposition of providence, too commonly and too impiously proclaimed in Protestant as well as Catholic states. The moral of the legend is sufficiently obvious: a death unnecessarily aggravated by the horrors of merciless cruelty and ignominious torture. Now, this is a pretty heavy paragraph as such, but if I read the sentences, what sense do I get? I get the sense that the author is trying to say that there is an obvious meaning to the legend, but there is also a slightly less obvious meaning to the legend. Basically, but it goes far beyond that. And essentially beyond the obvious meaning, there is a slightly hidden message also. So once you understand, okay, the author is trying to say this, the first thing that you have to say that is that there is one obvious meaning to the legend, which is sufficiently obvious. So 3 should come over here, followed by 2. So 3, 2 have are a pair which basically say that if you have, there is a obvious moral to this particular legend. There is a pretty obvious lesson which has essentially the miraculous interposition of providence that religion has obviously like hammered into us. But the actual meaning of this legend goes far beyond this obvious lesson as such. Now, what is the hidden meaning? The hidden meaning is that this illustrates the great principle of human nature, the power of religion over the fear of death. So basically 3-2 tell you that there is a hidden message or a hidden lesson to be learned, and 1 tells you what that lesson is. Now we also see a link between 1 and 4. What is that link? The link is death. The legend illustrates that the power of religion over the fear of death. And what is that fear of? It's not just a fear of death, but a death which is like a very tortured death. So when you are afraid of something like that, the legend shows that your belief in your religion can help you even overcome your fear of a very horrible death as such. So 1, 4 are connected, and 1 should essentially come after 2 because it tells you what is the deeper meaning that is not obvious to the eye initially. So 3, 2, 1, 4 give you the total message that there's an obvious meaning, but there is a second order meaning also which is not very obvious as such. So the order should be 3, 2, 1, 4. Slightly difficult, not an easy sentence to read. So I can understand a lot of people who are not able to do that. I'll be answering some of the doubts. I'm sure there are many doubts over here. So I'll be answering over that. As some of these guys are saying, why not 1, 4, 3, 2? See, basically 1, 4 basically has to come later because it is the second order meaning. First you should give the obvious meaning and then second order meaning. Whenever you are thinking, okay, how would I actually say, okay, there is a suspense in this. Should you start off by directly saying, okay, the suspense is that he escapes the jail and that it was kept as a suspense till the very end of the movie? No, you should start off by saying, okay, there was a suspense that was kept till the very end of the movie and the actual suspense is this. So you should always say that, okay, what was the hidden message? It should come after saying that there is a hidden message as such. So always think of it logically. How would you communicate this? So you would always communicate that, okay, there is a second order message and what that second order message is. Okay, so let's take a look at the next question. If you guys are just joining in, please go to cracku.in/live. I will be posting the second question soon. So here is the next question. Okay. Okay. So this is the second question. Okay, I'll be, why not 3, 1, 2, 4? Okay, basically, you are saying that, okay, there is the, 3 says that there is a second less obvious meaning. 1 says what is the second obvious meaning. But if you look at 2 gives what the obvious meaning is. 2 told you that, okay, this is like this obvious lesson has been hammered into us by not only the Protestants and the Catholics. Basically, whatever was that obvious lesson essentially has been exploited by the religious bodies enough. But the thing that you didn't realize in that particular legend is the hidden message or the hidden lesson, and that is there in 1, 4. 2 has to come before 1 because essentially 3 says, okay, there's this obvious lessons. 2 tells you what that obvious lesson was. So basically 2 tells you that, okay, this obvious lesson has already that the interposition of providence. Interposition of providence basically means that like God will come and save you. So this has been essentially been used or exploited by religions fairly and that was the obvious message. But the hidden message is that if you have a very strong belief in your religion, that belief can help you overcome the fear of death. So that was the hidden message. So 2 should definitely come before 1 because the obvious message should be given before the hidden message as such. Okay, guys, if you are looking for to start your preparation in a structured way, please do check out our 3 months batch. Our 3 months batch is starting this Monday, and basically if you guys have not seen our crash course, we give a day-wise schedule. So you'll get one like a list of things to do every day, a list of concept videos to watch, concept tests to take. Over the weekend we schedule like mocks for you. We make sure that you have ample practice by scheduling study room goals. So essentially we make sure you have complete concept coverage, complete practice coverage, so you don't have to figure out, okay, how much should I practice, how much should I not practice, and make sure that you take mocks in a timely way. So everything will be handled for you. So please do check out our 3 months batch. Please like this stream. I see a lot of people have joined the stream, but we are just at 118 likes. So please like the stream, please share the stream with whoever is preparing for CAT, and please head over to cracku.in/live. This is where the test is taking place. Okay. So I see that the time is up. A few more people got this one right, and I'm glad that that is the case. I hope that we keep inching up as the stream ends, so that everybody is like cracking VA questions by the end of this. So let's take a look at this particular question. Please put in your doubts in the chat room. I'll try to solve them in the interim when the question is posted as such. So let's take a look at the sentences. Books for some reason have survived this unremitting cult. Now we are supposed to puzzle out who they are by how they yell at their Alexa. Once upon a time, you could walk into someone's home and piece together their entire existence based on the DVDs and CDs on their shelves. At some point in the last decade, we decided to abandon most forms of physical media, therefore making a rod for our own backs when it comes to gift giving. So what is the author basically saying? The author is saying that now it is so difficult to give gifts because we don't know what exactly somebody likes or somebody doesn't like. Earlier, we could just go into their homes and see their CD collection and their DVD collection, and we knew exactly what their tastes were. We could gift accordingly. But now nobody's keeping any such things, CDs or DVDs in their home. So we can't really tell what exactly they like. So basically we have created a problem for ourselves by essentially removing all physical media, by removing CDs and DVDs. Now we have basically made it so difficult to give gifts because we can't really tell what somebody likes as such. Now you will have to listen to what they tell or yell at their Alexa. So we understand now the message, okay? So basically, how would you give this message? You'd say that we have created for ourselves a problem. Now what is the problem? The problem is in gift giving. Now why is that problem there? Basically, we have removed all physical media. Now what happened? Earlier, you could go and you could see the CDs and DVDs. Now you don't even have that option as such. Then the author gives one exception to this rule, which is books. Books still tell you what the person's tastes or likes or dislikes are. So if you look at the sentences, you can see that 4 introduces the topic, which is basically of gift giving, and how basically by removing all physical media, you have removed the only clues you had about somebody's personality, tastes and likes and dislikes. Now the problem is there in 3 and 2. 3 and 2 together are a pair. 3 tells you what used to be the case. 2 tells you what is the case now. What used to be the case is that you could see somebody's CD and DVD collection and tell what exactly they liked. But now you don't have that. Now everything is digital, so you can't really tell what somebody likes, what somebody doesn't like. 1 gives the exception to this. See, basically 1 tells you that, okay, books have still, this unremitting cull is basically, cull is the removal of something. You cull livestock or you cull birds. Basically, when you kill all the birds when there's bird flu, or you kill all the cows when there's mad cow disease, that's called culling. And basically, cull means that a complete removal of something. So, unremitting cull basically refers to this complete removal of physical media. So, basically the first question is giving you the one exception to what has been described in 4, 3 and 2. So, it should come last because it is essentially a contrast to what has been mentioned till now. 4, 3 and 2 are basically telling you what has happened, and 1 gives you the only exception to this, which is the last sentence. So, the order should be 4, 3, 2, 1. Difficult, I know, but this is when you start reasoning it out, you will learn how to actually think of it in this way. So, okay, some guys are asking why doesn't 4, 2, 3 work? See, basically, it's how would you say? When we are giving you, when we are essentially always, whenever we are describing something or whenever we are explaining something, we always give what used to be the case and then give what is now. Essentially, 3, 2 gives you the change. You never tell the change by giving the current situation and the old situation. Always it is the old situation to the current situation. It is essentially coherence, as I say. When you order things in time manner or in a chronological way, it is easier for the reader and the listener to follow. So it is the natural way of ordering sentences. That's why it should be 3, 2 and not 2, 3. 2, 3, it will be understandable, but it would be less understandable than 3, 2. So you have to also ask yourself, what would be a more natural way in which the reader can understand what is going on. So 3 also should be before 2 for the second reason, because 3 gives you the reason why it is connected to gift giving. 4 tells you that you have a problem with gift giving now. 3 tells you why it is a problem. Why is the removal of physical media a problem? Because it is a problem because you no longer have clues about their likes or dislikes. If you have 2, you will basically, the reader will be like, okay, you have a problem with gift giving. Now you have to understand what they are shouting at Alexa, why. Then you come to 3 and then you understand, okay, yeah, because you need to understand what are their tastes, likes and dislikes. So logically also, 3 essentially acts a bridge between gift giving and the presence of physical media. So this 3 should therefore be logically between 4 and 2 as such. Okay. I wrote 3, 2, 4, 1, but 3 is, yeah, essentially if you consider that 4 is essentially telling you what that problem is. 4 is telling you now we have a problem with gift giving. 3 to explain why, and 1 gives the exception to this rule. So let's go to the next question. Anybody who is joining us now, I see 164 people over here and only 128 likes. Please like the stream, please share the stream, please, it encourages us a lot, and once we see that a lot of students are liking the stream, we will have longer sessions, more sessions as such closer to CAT. So please like the stream, please share the stream. I'll be posting it in less than like 10 seconds. So please head over to cracku.in/live if you're not already there. The test is going on at cracku.in/live. So let's go with the third question, and I hope in this one, after all the explanation I have given, that you consider the chain of thought method, that you see the sentences, think, how would I logically order this if I was actually relaying this message, and try to solve it. So let's start with the third question. Okay, let's hide this. Okay. So third question is posted, and I'll try to solve some of the questions or doubts that people have had. Isn't this subjective? Both make sense. Actually, no. As I mentioned, Vidushi, the 3 needed to be before 2, because essentially 3 was acting as a bridge between why we have a problem with gift giving and the need for physical media. Otherwise, if you think of it, it's rather random, no? Whether CDs are there or DVDs are there, how is it related to gift giving? It's not directly related. The connection is established by 3, which tells you that if you walk into somebody's room and you see all their CD and DVD collection, you knew what they were interested in, and that helped you pick out basically what gift to give them. So that connection is established by 3, so logically it has to be before 2. Okay, so guys, okay, also remember, when you are thinking of how to actually make a sentence or a coherent argument, generally a chronological order is a good order to follow. Very rarely would you find exceptions to this. There can be exceptions. Basically, some people write in a different way also. But generally, chronological order is easier for the reader to understand, which is why many writers follow that rule. So basically, if somebody is giving you, okay, what are the decisions or like what are the changes to the tax code as such, they will tell you, okay, recently some changes have been passed to the tax code. Earlier, the tax code was like this. Now it has been changed to this. Therefore, the impact. Basically, this way of ordering things makes it easier for the reader to understand. So always remember, when you are changing the order, you have to say that, okay, how would some person actually order these so that it's easier for the reader to understand. And you see this often when you are reading things, right? When you are reading things, you see a logical order or a flow to sentences. If you see that something is poorly written, you don't understand why you think that it's poorly written. It is poorly written for many people because this logical order is disrupted. When these logical orders are disrupted, you find things difficult to read because you're not able to follow or form these chain of thoughts easily. The chain of thoughts is messy. So you feel, okay, this is very poorly written. It's hard to read. Why is it hard to read? Because the author has not followed basic rules of how to structure an argument. Now, when you have paragraphs in like your Para-Jumbles in your CAT, generally they'll pick good quality paragraphs from good authors who know how to structure an argument. So if you think logically, how would I structure this? That is a big clue of how the writer would also structure. Okay. Okay. If you guys have any general doubt about the preparation, please put it over here. I'll try to solve them as much as possible. Let me see whether the time. Okay. This I feel that is difficult, but I'm glad to see at least many people are getting it more. People are getting it correct consistently. So let us see the question as such. So, how often has the unexpected happened, and how and often has the expected never come to pass? It is likely that some troubles will befall us, but it is not a present fact. You will suffer soon enough when it arrives. So look forward meanwhile to better things. And even though it is ordained to be, what does it avail to run out to meet your suffering? Now, what is the author saying through these sentences? He is saying that, okay, sometimes bad things will happen, but you don't need to constantly, it's not something that is happening bad, something bad is not happening to you right now, right? So you don't need to think about it, or like essentially think that, okay, things will go bad, so I should suffer now. So the author is saying that, okay, expected things might happen, unexpected things might happen. You sometimes whatever you fear might not actually happen. Sometimes what you have never thought of might happen. But even if what you fear does happen, it doesn't make any sense for you to suffer now when you are going to suffer later on anyway. So why suffer now? So the author is basically encouraging the reader to have a positive outlook for life. So if you think of it this way, how would you order? In this, it's slightly difficult to order because the chain of thought method doesn't help that much, because each of these sentences you can order slightly differently and still it might work. Now what would help over here is let us try to find pairs. So one pair that I can definitely see is between 4 and 3. So the fourth sentence says that you will suffer soon enough. Why run towards your suffering? You are going to suffer if some misfortune happens to you, you are going to suffer then. Why suffer now and then? So basically you see a link between 4 and 3. Now 4 and 3 is an argument against basically obsessing about what things can go wrong in the future. So it is something that should come later. First you have to introduce the topic about what exactly is the problem, what is the author trying to say, that you are not currently in a problem, you are not facing a problem, don't think about it. It is not as it like if you are going to suffer, if you are meant to suffer, it is going to happen. That time you suffer, why suffer now? Now you see 4 is also linked to another sentence. 4 is linked to sentence 1. Now how is it linked? Basically 1 says that sometimes what you expect to happen might not happen. Sometimes unexpected things also happen. Now even if what you expected does happen, still you can suffer then. Even though what is ordained to be, what does it mean that what is ordained to be? Even what is like meant to happen did happen. Then you suffer then, why suffer now? So 1 and 4 are linked. 1 says that, okay, sometimes expected things don't happen. And even if it happens, why suffer now? So, but even if it happens is there in 4, it is referring to 1. So I see a link between 1, 4 and 3. Now essentially 1, 4 and 3 together say that why suffer now? Suffer when it happens. Now the topic of basically not something that you are not in trouble now, don't think about trouble now, is introduced in 2. So you can have 2 choices, 1, 4, 3, 2 or 2, 1, 4, 3. But look at the structure of 2. 2 is not a concluding line. 2 is in fact introducing it. 2 is saying that your troubles are not a present fact. So it is telling you what the current scenario is, what the context is. Now if a line is like that, it should be at the start, not at the end. So the sentence paragraph structure should be 2, 1, 4, 3. Okay. So whenever you're thinking of this, if you find that, okay, chain of thought method is not working, look for clues like grammar, like pairs. See what are the links between the sentences. See, once we got the link between 1, 4 and 3, we had only 2 options or 2 orders as such. Then you have like a 50% chance of getting the like the Para-Jumble right, which is much better than 4 factorial, that is like 24 options as such. So always think of it in that way also. What are the pairs, what are the necessary sentences that should be together, and that basically improves your chances of getting things right. Okay. So guys, I see that 152 people are over here, and I see 147 likes. Please like the stream, please share the stream. It encourages us a lot. Basically every time we see that there are a lot of people who are seeing us like liking our stream, it basically motivates us to have more of these streams. Okay, I'll be answering some of your doubts, but I'll post the next question also. So So your next question comes now. Okay, so best of luck. I'll try to answer some of the doubts that have come. Okay, so 1, 2, 4, 3 seems better. What was this 2, 1, 4, 3 instead of 1, 2, 4, 3? See, basically the reason why it should not be 1, 2, 4, 3 is basically because 4 is contradicting or saying something contrasting with 1. So 1 says that okay, sometimes what you expected to happen doesn't happen. But even if it happens, okay, 4 is saying, but even if it happens, why suffer now? So when you are going to have that kind of a continuous thought, okay, but even if it happens, it should be immediately after it. Now also one other reason is that 2 is an open-ended sentence. 2 tells you, okay, your troubles, that your future troubles, whatever you want to face in the future, is not something that is currently happening to you. So it sets the context. That is that you are not currently facing troubles, then why suffer now? This is basically also telling you the current situation that you are in. You are not currently facing any troubles, but you are afraid of what might the future hold. So this is also setting the context about the arguments that the author is making in the remaining sentences. So it's important that it is at the start as such. So that's why it should not be 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay. So let's see if there are any more let's see the okay. Grammar and logic played a role over here. Yes, see, basically you feel that chain of thought is not helping you, go to grammar. Grammar is not helping you, go to pairs. As pairs are something that I rely on often, and it helps like improve accuracy quite a bit. Because essentially sometimes what might happen is that you get slight mistakes in like the order of sentences. But a pair improves, like forming pairs improves your accuracy like beyond like 50%, 60%. And for VA kind of like PJ questions, it is very important to have that kind of accuracy. It's a non-negative question, so even having that much accuracy is very good. So always form pairs, even when you can understand the chain of thought, still form pairs because they help you improve your accuracy quite a bit. Okay. Okay. This is this is an OOC question. Some people are putting in like a 5 Parajumble. This is an OOC question, guys. Please, sorry. I hope that people, okay, quite a few people got it right. I'm sorry if the instructions were there, but since we just came off Parajumbles, I think some people still were in the Parajumble zone. This is an OOC question. You have to find out the right one, which is not in line with this. Again, as you can see, accuracy shot up in OOC. So if you don't have a whole lot of time when it comes to Parajumbles and OOC, do the OOCs first. They are actually, it's a sound strategy when it comes to this, that do first the OOCs, then come to the Parajumbles. As you can see, even on the live example, far more people get OOCs correct than Parajumbles. So let's see how to solve this particular question. The satellites data will be used to help assess the fuel load and moisture content of forests. Australian scientists are developing a satellite that can better identify where bushfires might start. Australian bushfires were more catastrophic than any simulation of a changing climate predicted. Authorities could then take necessary action to mitigate any risks. The small spacecraft would carry the infrared detectors specifically tuned to the country's dominant vegetation, in particular to its widespread eucalyptus trees and shrubs. So what is being told over here? What is the message being relayed over here? Most of the sentences are telling you about a satellite that is going to be used to essentially mitigate Australian wildfires as such, the bushfires. So that is the context as such, that is some new device or some new satellite is going to be used. So firstly, we'll have to see what is the order of sentences which essentially talk about this. So 2 essentially introduces this satellite that is being developed. So if you're going to mention this, you would say that, okay, what is being developed, how it would work, and what essentially what would be the process of that working. So 2 introduces that there is a satellite that is being developed, so that should come first. So satellite is being developed. Then what is that satellite going to do? We see that that satellite is going to carry infrared detectors. Now this infrared detectors will take in some data. So whenever you have a detector, it essentially generates data. It generates some signals. Now that signals is mentioned in 1. So basically we see 5.1 basically show how that satellite is going to operate. The spacecraft over here essentially refers to the satellite. So 5.1 basically tell you that that infrared detectors are going to essentially get in data, and that data is going to help them assess what is the moisture content of the forest, what is the fuel load of the forest as such. And based on that information, what are the authorities going to do? They are going to act. So that means that 20514 forms a coherent sentence, a coherent paragraph. What is essentially the activity that is this? There's a satellite, it will use these infrared detectors, it will collect data. Based on that data, we can take steps to mitigate the risk. Now, what is out of context over here? The out of context sentence is 3. Why is it out of context? Because it is not at all linked to the satellite or the entire procedure that is being taken place. It is something that you can use for context, okay? Don't get me wrong, in many paragraphs, there might be context lines, basic context lines that essentially tell you, okay, the significance of why this is needed, etc. But if you see that all the other sentences are very closely related to the satellite or the project that is under consideration, this one is just a general context line. That context line does not really fit with the current discussion as such. So 3, because it is not about the satellite, not about the project, would be the odd one out. Okay, I think it was easier for most guys. Isn't 2-4 making a pair? 2-4 is not making a pair. Essentially, if you 2-4 also is logically connected, but you'd basically, if you're explaining what is going to happen, you would give the full sequence. How would the authorities take steps? Basically, they're going to take, could, then take, okay? Basically, then refers to what? Then refers to after seeing all this data. Okay, without the then, you would have to write the sentence 4 as authorities could take necessary actions based on the inputs of this satellite or based on the information generated by the satellite. Since that is missing, since it is just then, it means that what is the process of the entire satellite working has already been given. So it has to come after 251. So basically, then essentially refers to the fact that, okay, I have already explained what is how it is going to work. Then after all of this information has been collected, then based on that you can take decisions. So that then, so just this one word indicates that the method of working of the satellite has already been described, not that it is going to be described later on. Okay, so let's take a look at the next question. You guys are, please like the stream, please share the stream as much as possible. We are very close to our this as such of 175 likes. I'm very glad you guys are liking the stream, and please share it with anybody who is preparing for CAT. I'll be posting it in less than 10 seconds, so please be prepared for the next OOC. I'm very sorry for those who actually solved this as a PJ. Please take the next question as an OOC and posting it now. Somebody is asking why not 3214. Basically, the that spacecraft part was needed basically for us to understand how the data is going to this. When you say, okay, act on the data, you have to say what data is the author referring to. Basically the data generated by going over the bushes with the infrared detector. So that was needed as such. Okay. Sai Kiran is asking, ma'am, the dash cat RC lens, are they CAT specific? They seem a bit lengthy and the questions feel a bit more factual. So Sai Kiran, basically we are trying to replicate CAT 2020 as much as possible because it is different from CAT 2019 to our paper. So we are trying to figure out, we are trying to hit CAT 2020 pattern as much as possible. The lengths are going to be around 500 words and there will be a mix of subjective and objective questions. In 2020, we saw a lot of subjective questions and essentially questions where there was a lot of twisting of the question and option itself. But so we are putting a lot of those kind of questions also, a lot of subjective questions. But we also remember in 2019 and 2018, there were a lot of scientific RCs. So we have to prepare for every eventuality. We are sticking to the time format because the time format will closely resemble 2020. But what will actually come can be from 2019, 2018, informative RCs, RCs about music, history, everything. So you have to be open-minded about the kind of RCs that are going to come because you can't predict that. But the time format, we'll closely stick to the CAT 2020 this in terms of word length. We are sticking to that. So it's not, this is going to be the exact format as much as CAT 2021 is concerned. Okay. Yeah, essentially odd one out is easier. You have to just figure, somebody said ki PJ, it's a difficult PJ, but not an odd one out is easier, which is true. But in odd one out, essentially just always answer odd one outs. Make sure you don't skip odd one outs, especially like when many people go sequentially through the verbal questions and then they lose out on time and then they miss out on OOC questions. Don't do that. First go to the OC, then PJ, okay? Always make sure that you do that, this. Okay. Okay, let's see if people got this one right. Okay, not as easy as this. I know why many people found this difficult, and it is something that it's basically practice of Para-Jumbles and something we have also taught, which is probably at fault over here. The thing that we always teach you is that whenever some person is being discussed, you have to first introduce the person and then you can discuss that person. In this case, the line that was essentially introducing the person was out of context, and it is difficult for because of that many people think that okay, no, the line which is introducing the person has to definitely be there. So that was the trick. I think many people fell for that trap as such. So that's the mistake many guys did. Otherwise, I'm sure many people would have been able to understand and solve this question easily. It's not a difficult this, but it is basically your condition to always put the line introducing the person. So let's see the sentences as such. If he objected to the crude mythology of Homer, he often spoke of one god who ruled the world and of a divine spirit or conscience within his own breast. Socrates was a hugely important Greek philosopher from the classical period. As a matter of fact, he was a deeply religious man. Late in life, Socrates was accused of impiety and corruption, corrupting the youth of Athens with his doctrines. A jury court found him guilty, however, and condemned him to death. So if you see the lines, what is the paragraph, most of the lines talking about? The lines are basically saying that Socrates was accused of being impious, of teaching the youth impiety. But if you actually think of it, the author contradicts this accusation by saying that he was actually a religious man. But even though he was a religious man, the jury found him guilty and he was condemned to death. So that is the message that is going to be relayed. Where is this fact that he was accused? So you have to consider, okay, whenever there is an event like this, you have to follow chronological order. So firstly, the accusation has to come, but the accusation has to be wrong. The author is going to say that this accusation was wrong. In fact, he was a religious man. So firstly, the accusation has to come, then he was found guilty. However, basically this 4 should be earlier, 5 should be later. But the however essentially indicates that the reason why the author thinks that this jury was wrong has to be in the middle. So basically, why does he say however he was condemned to death? Basically, it means that he should give the reasons why those accusations were false before 5. So why were those accusations false? They were false because he was actually, in fact, as a matter of fact, he was a deeply religious man. So 3 should tell that he was actually a deeply religious man. 1 says that it was, 1 explains why he was a deeply religious man. That is, if he spoke of one god, he was spiritual and he had a conscience within his breast. So 3:1 gives you this idea that he was actually a deeply religious man. 4 tells you the accusation, 3:1 is the rebuttal, 5 tells you, however, he was still condemned to death. So 4, 3, 1, 5 together tell you how Socrates was accused of impiety and then how he was not impious and he was, however, still condemned to death. 2 is a general line, and many people feel that okay, before you talk about somebody, you have to introduce him, which is fine. You can put 2 before 4. But if you think of it, nothing of these 4, 3, 1, 5 can actually be removed. If you remove any of these 4 sentences, the paragraph doesn't make sense anymore. You have to say he was in fact a deeply religious man before you give 1. So 3 has to be there. 1 has to be there, 3, 1 together tell you why this however is used. So 3, 1 has to be there before 5. 4 tells you what the accusation was. How can you talk about the jury before the accusation? So none of these 4 sentences can be removed. So basically that leaves you with the fact that this extra filler sentence which introduces you to Socrates must be the OOC one. So the right answer is 2. Always difficult. This is a difficult one. I agree. Even I would have made the mistake of saying that, okay, you have to introduce a person, but not needed in this case, especially because this sentence also acts as an introductory sentence. So that's the thing that you have to always remember. If his name is there in another sentence, even that sentence could have been the introductory sentence. Now let's take a look at the next question. Please like the stream, please share the stream, and please make sure that if anybody is preparing for CAT, please share it with them so that more students join us. So I'll be posting the next question soon. Please be ready, and here it comes. Okay. Okay, guys, and I'll be trying to solve as many doubts that are there as far as this is concerned. Okay. Let me see how many. Okay, we are very close to the goal. Only 6 likes left to hit our goal. Thank you, guys. I'm really glad you found this stream useful and it was good for you. So okay, why not 1-3? Why 3-1? So when you say as a matter of fact, you are essentially rebutting something that was mentioned earlier. What is he rebutting then? He was rebutting the fact that Socrates was accused of impiety. As a matter of fact, he was not impious at all. So when you say something like that, as a matter of fact, it's a connector. It's a connector which rebuts something that is given immediately before. So 4-3 has to be together, because 4 gives you what he was accused of, and 3 gives you this is in the 4 gives you what he was accused of, and 3 gives you, as a matter of fact, that accusation is completely baseless because he was actually a religious man. Okay. Ratul, you always get this sense that, okay, 2 is not really needed. Is it really needed? Whenever you see that, okay, this sentence seems completely extraneous to the discussion, you should always think of it as a potential Always whenever you select, also try to see whether the remaining sentences can be formed into a paragraph. That is a better way of checking at least whether your OC option is right or not. So this is para summary. I hope you guys are able to solve this. This is an easy para summary question. I hope most of you get it right. Okay. Okay, Priyanshi is like, start with 4 and you'll get the whole paragraph. Always, basically, how do you know what is the starting sentence? You know what is the starting sentence once you try to figure out what the message is. And the message was introduced in 4, that he was accused of impiety, of like corrupting the youth, but he was not actually impious. You start off with the message. You know that you have to start off with 4, because 4 is essentially central to 3-1-5. Without 4, you can't really have that discussion about he was not actually impious. So 4, once you realize that has to be before 3-1-5, think of it as a logical reasoning puzzle, okay? It's like a linear arrangement. You know that 4 has to precede these 4 sentences. Then you know it has to be either the starting sentence or the second sentence. Once you figure that out, it becomes easier for you to like find the remaining sentences, remaining order as such. Okay. Okay, let us see whether, done, and I'm seeing an improvement over here. Aryan and Pranjal are going like head to head with like 12 points. So let's see who tops. But well done, both of you. Also well done, Devesh and Priyanshi and Parijat and Piyush. Well done, all of you guys. Just keep practicing, and I'm sure many of you, all of you, can crack VA section easily. So let's take a look at the question, para summary question that is there in front of you. To the man in the street, if he exists, they stand for something proverbially remote and obscure, as dead as Queen Anne, as heavy as the British Museum. To the average finished product of higher education in England, they recall those dog-eared textbooks and grammars which he put away with much relief when he left school. They waft back to him the strangely close atmosphere of the classical form room. The historian, of course, will inform us that all Western civilization has Greece for its mother and nurse. So this is like a very stylized prose, okay? It's like if you ask this guy, he will say, okay, something. If you ask that guy, he will say something. But if you ask a historian, he will tell you how incredibly important Greece is. So essentially, it's like a introductory, if I can picture this clearly at the start of a essay about Greece, or a book about Greece, that Greece is so important to history of Western civilization, to understanding Western civilization. If I was writing that, I would write this nice paragraph at the start so that I give you this introduction of what Greece means to everybody. So once you start giving that idea, okay, Greece means this to this person, Greece means that to this person. But if you ask a historian, they will understand the importance of Greece. That acts as a nice segue for you to talk about how Greece was so crucial or is so important for the Western civilization. He calls it like the mother and nurse of Western civilization. So essentially, what is the author saying through this paragraph? For somebody who is on the street, that is like a normal lay person, they will find this like a remote and obscure. For somebody who has gone through the English education system, they'll like it's something that you learnt about in school, but you kept away and relieved to have kept it away. But only a true historian understands the worth of Greece, that it is the mother and nurse of Western civilization. So what is being taught by these three different perspectives? The three different perspectives gives you the wide variety in how Greece is viewed. It is viewed by somebody as something which is obscure or dead, to somebody who sees it as like absolutely pivotal and important to Western civilization. So it gives you a spectrum of views essentially. Now let's see what the options are. Greece remains equally obscure for all persons alike. Absolutely wrong. For a historian, it is like mother and nurse. Is it obscure? Would you call your mother and nurse obscure? Definitely wrong. Absolutely at like odds with what is given in the passage. So A is like an easy elimination. Greece means different things to different person. It alludes to the fact that the paragraph gives you the spectrum of views essentially. So this is a fitting para summary. So Greece means different things to different people. It gives you a hint of what is actually discussed. If I was writing a more detailed summary, I would write that, okay, there is a wide spectrum of views from the obscure to the vital when it comes to Greece. But a short summary, a succinct summary, this works. This is not a great summary, but it actually covers what is being said. Let's take a look at C. General public fail to recognize the importance of Greece. But it's not about general public only, right? It's not just about the person on the street. Even somebody who has had a good education, the English education, even that person is wary of Greece. They don't want to learn about it because they are glad to have put it away in school as such. So it's not just the general public. It's not talking also, if you see that the tone of the author is not about, okay, how it should not be ignored or how it should not be, it should be valued more. The author is basically saying that there's like a very wide spectrum of reactions when anybody thinks of Greece. So C gets the tone wrong and also gets the information wrong also. Greece has an important role to play in the Western civilization. This is true only about the last line. But what about the first line where people don't realize its importance, about how there are differing views about it actually. So D only captures one part of the paragraph. So the right answer has to be B. So the right answer is B. Okay. Can I make the summary in my own words? Always make the summary in your own words. I always do that. When I read the paragraph, I think what my summary would be and then I try to match it with that. What it does is basically helps you understand which questions are or which options are clearly wrong. For example, I knew that A was obviously wrong because that is definitely not what is mentioned. The only pitfall you have to remember is that don't make too wordy a summary. Sometimes people think that, okay, if I have to write my summary, I have to get all the details in. Not necessary. You have to find out what is the heart of the argument. As much as you can generalize, make it short, make it more general as possible. Remove the details where they are not necessary. So if you say that Greece has given us 20 inventions, instead of mentioning the 20 inventions or saying, okay, democracy, all of these have come from Greece, okay? Instead of saying all of that, a better summary would be that a lot of important ideas, concepts and philosophies have come out of Greece. Captures the point without actually giving which were the ideas, which were the philosophies as such. So as far as possible, always have your own summary, but always generalize it to as much as possible, because once you have a generalized summary, it will match better with the options also. So let's take a look at the next question. This is the second last question. I hope you guys are able to get it. Okay, so let's go with the second last question. It's posted now. Okay, it's some of you might not be able to see over here. You will be able to see on the this as such. So please make sure you see go to cracku.in live and see over there. This is slightly difficult for people to see, so please go to cracku.in/live and see over there. Okay, can I make a summary? Okay, ma'am, summary making takes time in mocks. Don't basically, I'm not asking you to write it, Manish. I'm not saying that you form like the best summary you can. Like think of what would be the perfect summary. Not like that. Basically first impressions. Quickly think what, if you were summarizing this, what would be the few things that immediately leap to your mind. Essentially think of it in this way. It takes 10 seconds to read the paragraph, another 10 seconds to come up with a summary, and then 20-30 seconds to scan the options. You should think of your summary, essentially what are your first impressions after reading the paragraph. It should not be that okay, you're thinking that I have to get everything right. The paragraph is written in such a way that the author wants you to understand a key message without a whole lot of thinking, without a whole lot of like worrying or fretting. So you might not get every single implication, but you will get the key message easily. That is the writer's job, that he has to make sure that everybody understands the key message easily. So whatever is the key message that comes to you, that obviously he's saying this, grab at it immediately. Don't spend too much time thinking about it. It's basically what is your first impression of what the author wants to say. Once you have that, then you can go to the options and see what best fits your first impression as such. Okay, I see, let's see how many people, how much time is left. Okay, done. And quite a few people got it wrong. This is difficult, and I would, there is actually, I would say that this is slightly on the tougher side because it is a factual paragraph. Many of the people find it very difficult to summarize factual paragraphs, and I've seen this in actual CAT also, because in a factual paragraph you feel that I have to put everything. Okay, I have to put A, B, C, D. If A, B, C, D has been given as the impacts, I have to put all of them. But they are details. Details can be there, cannot be there, but they are not crucial as such. Always get the implications right. In a summary, the details won't be wrong. Okay, so for example, if it is given asthma, allergies and eye irritation, you will never find a para summary where instead of eye irritation it will say eye surgery. That kind of small spot the error kind of things don't come actually. What comes is that they change the implication. So always be more careful of, rather than the details, think of the implications that the author is making in the paragraph and in the options as such. That is the key part, not the details. This is the trap or the trouble with factual RCs. You get caught up with the details, you don't see the implications. So let's take a look at the paragraph first. So the paragraph is, formaldehyde is a chemical used in a number of applications, from embalming to professional hair smoothing treatments to the manufacture of plastics and composite wood products. I don't care what it is used for, just that it is used for a lot of things. Wide variety of applications. First impression, I am going to the next part. It is a known carcinogen according to both International Agency of Research on Cancer and the National Toxicology Program, which evaluated the evidence in support of a causal connection between formaldehyde exposure and nasopharyngeal cancer. Basic summary, it is a known carcinogen according to research, and it is connected to a specific type of cancer as such. Research supports that it is a carcinogen which is connected to a specific type of cancer. It is also associated with respiratory ailments including asthma, allergies and eye irritation. So basically it has other medical maladies also connected to it. So what are the basic things that immediately jump to it? It is widely used. It is a known carcinogen which is connected to a specific type of cancer, and also is connected to other medical maladies. So these three things have to be in there definitely. Now whether they are put in detail or not doesn't matter, but these three things have to be there. Now let's take a look at the options. Go slightly up. So formaldehyde is a known carcinogen capable of causing asthma, allergies and eye irritation. It has a large number of applications ranging from embalming to manufacturing of plastics and composite wood products. So here I'll ignore all the details. I'll just say that though formaldehyde is a known carcinogen, causes maladies, it has a large number of applications. That is what A says. B is, formaldehyde has a wide range of applications. It is a known carcinogen that causes nasopharyngeal cancer and other medical issues like respiratory ailments and eye irritation. So basically, it's stating that formaldehyde has wide range of applications. It is connected, it is a known carcinogen, connected to a cancer, and also does connected to other maladies. All three points that I mentioned earlier. C is, though formaldehyde has wide range of applications, it is a carcinogen according to NTP and IARC, capable of causing nasopharyngeal cancer, respiratory ailments, and eye irritation. So again, over here, wide range of applications, carcinogen, nasopharyngeal cancer, and other maladies. So that is also there. So A, B, C, I can't directly remove anything right now. So let them be, they're not very different, very close to each other. Now, fourth is NTPC and NTP and IRC consider formaldehyde to be a known carcinogen due to the connection between causal, I think a casual connection they made. It should be a causal connection, but you can eliminate because of that. Between formaldehyde exposure and nasopharyngeal cancer, formaldehyde is also capable of causing respiratory ailments and eye irritation. This misses the first of the 3 points that I mentioned, that it has widespread application. This misses that, so I can eliminate D immediately. If I see A, B, C, they are so close to each other. Now when you have very close options, what do you see? You have to then try to find out spot the error essentially. Where is some implication put which should not be there? If you see B has just the 3 points that were mentioned exactly as it is. 3 points objectively, no implication which is not there in the paragraph. So you see the paragraph has nothing like that, even though this is there, but this is there, though that is there. That is, it makes no such implications. It is a carcinogen, it causes nasopharyngeal cancer, it causes maladies, and it has applications. It's not saying that even though it has applications, it causes this. Or it doesn't say the other way around also, that even though it is a carcinogen, it has applications. Neither it says. It just gives you a cold cut 3 sentences. So because of that, you see there is a distortion in A and C. The distortion is just this word though. Though it is a carcinogen, it has wide applications. As the author said that though it is a carcinogen, it has wide applications. No, this kind of comparison saying that even though, although, that kind of implication has never been made in the paragraph. Same with C, that even though it has wide application, it's a carcinogen. See, basically the author has never mentioned that it being a carcinogen is in some way a hindrance to its applications. Because if the applications do not involve actual human interaction, how does it matter? So if the author has not made that connection, he has not made that implication, why should the option do it? So A and C have this distortion. It is adding things that are not there in the paragraph. Because of that, B is the right answer. When you have these kind of close options, okay, just keep it as it. A seems okay, B seems kind of there, C also seems kind of there. Look at it as a comparison. What is extra in A, what is not in A? What is extra in B, what is not in B? What is extra in C, what is not in C? Once you start taking that kind of comparison, you see these two things that are extra in A and C are not there in the paragraph. Then it becomes easier for you to answer. Let's take a look at the last question in the test. I hope you guys are going to ace this one. So let's take a look at the last question. So here we go, guys, and best of luck to Aryan. I think has surged ahead of Pranjal. So best, well done, Aryan. Good for you, Pranjal. Also, you were pretty close. So best of luck to both of you, and just try to do this particular para summary correctly. I'll try to make it. Yeah. So even the guys who are just seeing video can see. We have. Okay, we are very close to 190 likes. Thank you, guys. It feels really good to have these many likes, and thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you guys so much. Please do share about this stream for everybody who is actually preparing for CAT, so that more people join us. If we have a lot of people, you will get a lot of competition also. So that is also another reason for why you should actually share, so that the competition for the leaderboard is more intense, and it feels better that you're beating out like 300 people, 400 people. So please also share it with anybody who is seriously preparing for CAT. One more thing, if you guys are just about starting your preparation, we have our 3 months course which is starting on Monday. So okay, it's not visible. Okay, 3 months course which is starting on Monday. So this is basically, you will get a daily schedule. You will be told exactly what you have to do every day. So one of the things that I always felt about CAT is that people go about it in an unstructured way. People solve what they actually enjoy solving. Some people just keep solving quant because they like doing it. Many people don't solve the things that they are actually poor at, or even see videos of what they are poor at because they feel that, okay, I don't want to do it, I'm not good at it, and they practice lesser from it and also see lesser videos. So once somebody structures things for you by telling you, okay, you have to complete A, B, C, it makes sure that you don't ignore things that you're not good at or spend too much time just doing things that you like doing. We give you all the resources you need to crack CAT in a structured manner. Every single day you will get, okay, see these videos, take these tests, please solve these many questions from the study room. So once you have a structured schedule like that, it makes sure that you will make the best use of every single day so that you hit your goal come CAT. So please do check out our 3 months course. It starts Monday. Also, those guys who have not taken a single mock yet, and I know a lot of them who are thinking, I'll finish my entire concept coverage and take the first mock. Please don't wait for that. Please start taking mocks. August is the time to begin. Don't leave it for September and October. When things get highlighted or problems get highlighted in September and October, you have lesser time to fix them. So please start taking mocks today. We have 3 free mocks, absolutely free mocks on cracku.in. Please go and take them. They are in the new format, in the 2-hour format. Please try to take them. Okay. So let's so let's see the let's see firstly who did well. So Aryan, congratulations on getting a score of 18. Very well done. 19 got it right, so I'm very heartened to know that many people are getting this right also. In fact, if you guys did not get it right or found many of these questions difficult, don't lose heart. The stats on each of these questions were fairly less than 5% got it right or 10% got it right. So these were very difficult questions, so don't lose heart if you're not able to do this. I generally pick harder questions because it makes more sense while I'm explaining to explain harder questions, so you can then solve easier questions also on your own. So don't be disheartened if you didn't do well. These were difficult questions, but you learn from difficulties. So let's take a look at this particular question. The more closely we study with extremely slender resources of evidence the lives of great men of imagination and action since the beginning of the world, the more clearly we ought to recognize that a reduction of all types to one stolid uniformity of what is called health would have the effect of depriving humanity of precisely those individuals who have added the most to the beauty and variety of human existence. Oof, what a sentence, like 4 lines, difficult sentence. But what is the crux of it? Essentially, if I read it, it's basically saying that if you start filtering out, if you start valuing people based on who was healthy, you will see that you're filtering out exactly those people who did a lot actually, who contributed a lot to the beauty and variety of human existence. Basically, those who contributed to human life, basically through art, literature, whatever. So essentially, what is the author saying? That if you put a lot of this on being healthy, you will see that you will not be valuing a lot of people who are not really healthy, but gave a lot in terms of producing things that enrich human existence. Generally, what enriches human existence? Art, literature, etc. So if you consider, okay, what is valuable and you choose people based on the perspective or filter of health, you will be removing all these guys who are never really healthy as such. When the physical conditions of men of the highest celebrity in the past are touched upon, it is usual to pass them over with indifference or else to account for them as the result of disease. So what is the author saying? So if you consider all the great men, either you will say, okay, we will not really talk about their health much, or you would say, okay, their health was bad, but it was because of disease. So what is the author trying to say? That the people who gave the most to us in the past in terms of like enriching human value, they were definitely not healthy. In fact, if you ever see any mention of them, either the health is not really touched upon in detail, or it was said, okay, they had bad health because of disease, which means that people who contributed a lot to human existence were generally, if you consider all those people, most of them were in fact very unhealthy. So now that you understand what the author is saying, difficult to understand. I understand the paragraph is not the easiest one to read, but essentially remove anything which is extraneous, the flowery language, all of that is not needed. Try to understand in your own actual language, in the most basic way that you can actually read a sentence and understand what the author is trying to say. Remove anything which is not necessary to remember, and remember only the absolute bare bones of the argument as such. Now let's take a look at the options. Had the geniuses of the past focused on their health, humanity would have been deprived of many ingenious inventions. It's not whether they focused on their health or not. The only thing that the author is saying is that they were not healthy. Not because they didn't focus on their health, but because they were just not healthy. So it's not, this is like a different the tangential argument that has been made. So because of that, I can eliminate A. Indifference and diseases were instrumental in the development of great men who transformed humanity. Again, indifference and diseases was not the causality. Great men who transformed humanity, their health you would treat with indifference or by saying or excusing on the basis of disease. So this is like a complete distortion of what is given in the passage. Why would indifference and disease cause somebody to be great? I mean, logically, would that make any sense? Throughout history, most of the men who have contributed the most to the advancement of humanity were not healthy. True, those who did so much, they were just unhealthy for many reasons, partly disease or whatever is told about their health. They were just said, nothing was either told about their health or it was told that they were not healthy because of disease. So this is actually a proper summary of what is given in the paragraph, that most of the great men were not healthy. Great men who have contributed the most to humanity had to do it amid slender resources, indifference and diseases. So this part is the distortion. Where is this slender resources given? This is slender resources of evidence. Evidence as to what? Evidence of the lives of great men. So basically what the author is saying is that we don't have a lot of written material which details how these great men lived. So the slender resources of evidence is basically evidence about their lives, not about the slender resources that these people had, not that. So this is a distortion. They've taken one part of the argument, put it somewhere else entirely, created a new option, entirely new implication as such. So D is also wrong, so the right answer is option C. So I hope you guys were doing like this session. Please make sure that you come in every Saturday. Every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. I will be holding a session either on LRDI or on VARC. We'll try to do as many sessions as possible. Maruti is going to hold a session every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for quant. So one session on Wednesday at, so I'll say Wednesday 7:30 quant by Maruti, and Saturday 9:30 p.m. Which is LRDI or verbal VARC by me. So please do join us. Please do check out our 3 months batch also and our 3 free mocks. Please start preparing. These were the last question. Please, this was the last question. We are done with there were 8 questions as such. We are done with the stream. So thank you guys for joining in, and thank you guys so much for being part of the stream. I hope you guys benefit from these streams, and I hope that these difficult questions make actual CAT questions very, very easy for you. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in.